Well, the risk to go against Erling Haaland on the captaincy paid off massively, with Bukayo Saka producing the goods, coming away with a 24-point haul from the armband. But I definitely had some FPL jam on my side, with Saka coming away with DEFCON and Haaland missing a penalty at home to Liverpool. Nobody could have predicted how those matches played out. There's no question we've had a strong start to the season, and we've had another good week in Game Week 11, and we've moved inside the top 100k for the first time this season. The international break is upon us, but that doesn't mean we stop thinking about FPL, and with favourable fixture swings around the corner for Man City and Liverpool, we're eyeing up transferring in some of their players this week. In today's video, I'm going to show you my transfer plans and my first lineup ahead of the Game Week 12 deadline. We've lots to discuss. Let's get into the video. What is up everyone, how's it going? FPL Era here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. 70 likes on the video is the goal as always, and if you have any questions, drop them in the comments below. We are also on the road to 10k subs, so if you are watching and you're not subscribed, 71% of my viewers aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so head on down there, click subscribe if you haven't done so already. If that Saka captaincy or the fact I'm inside the top 100k isn't worthy of you clicking subscribe, I'm not sure what else I can do. Right, that's a shameless plug out of the way. We're going to take a look back at our Game Week 11 review, so if you don't care how we got on last week, this is your warning to wind on towards the end of the video. So looking back at Game Week 11, 51 points of the week was another positive week for the team, and we saw a nice green arrow rising from 167k to inside the top 100k, and we're currently ranked at 92k overall. We're going to start off on that captaincy pick between Saka and Haaland. If you watched my team selection video last week or tuned into my YouTube deadline stream on Saturday afternoon, all I spoke about on captaincy was the fact that I did think it was a week to take a risk with Haaland up against Liverpool. I didn't think he'd get too many chances, so I kept my faith on Saka, and thankfully Saka came away with a goal and DEFCON and 3 bonus for a 24-point haul. That being said, he was outrageously lucky to get the DEFCON, but whatever about Saka, it was outrageous lucky that Haaland stepped up, missed the penalty, but he did come away with a goal. He missed out on bonus points, only come away with 4 points, so that's +8 going Saka on the captaincy over Erling Haaland. And if I'm ever in Liverpool and I do see Marshall around the street, I definitely owe him a point for saving that penalty. I did organise an FPL meetup in Mary Mullins in Galway on Saturday, and 5 or 6 lads that came to the meetup did in fact captain Gabriel. So whatever about me losing my Arsenal double defensive clean sheet, the fact they captain Gabriel to come away with a 2-pointer definitely put a downer on their night. Fast forward into that second half, I was chatting to someone from the meetup, so I didn't even see the Saka goal go in live, but I have to admit there might have been a few celebratory shots bought for the table in celebration of that Saka captaincy return. Going through the rest of the team, Bruno Fernandes picked up a late assist from a corner for United's late equaliser in the early kick-off. Looking at Bruno Fernandes, he's been ticking along okay with the points, maybe not living up to his 8.9 million price tag, but United do have a nice run of fixtures where the season face Everton, Wolves and West Ham over their next 4 games, so I don't think he's going to leave my team anytime soon. Moving on to Sunday's games, it was pretty much a disappointing Sunday. Munoz, my only return in those Sunday games, but apart from Erling Haaland, Munoz, my only return in those games. Pick up a clean sheet, but looking at Saka and Mateta on the attacking front, they failed to return as Brighton kept them quiet. Fair enough with Mateta, at least he scored last week, but that's Sar's second blank in a row in the Premier League, and he's saving his returns for the European games. Moving on to my Bournemouth assets against Aston Villa. Senesi did concede 4 goals, but he did come away with some DEFCON to at least end off on positive points. And then on to Semenyo. Whatever about Erling Haaland missed a penalty. I had 2 missed penalties in my team, with Semenyo missing one after Martinez kept him out. And both to be fair to Semenyo, I don't think he'll be leaving my team anytime soon either. All in all, 51 points of the week was a nice return for the team, and now that sees us inside the top 100k, sitting at 92k overall. Let's move on now and start planning ahead for Game Week 12. So before we get into my current Game Week 12 lineup, here's a look at my chip strategy for the rest of the first half of the season. We have used 2 chips, the wildcard has been played and the bench boost has been played, and of course I have to remind you that we did hit 35 points on the bench boost. Shout out to Mukulele once again for that 17-pointer, and I suppose the Burnley double defence as Esteve and the Bravka kept their clean sheet against Leeds when they were needed most. I do think I am going to purchase a Mukulele shirt at some stage this season to thank him for that 17-pointer. But anyway, enough about that bench boost, I'll shut up about it once again. Looking at my chip strategy for the rest of the first half of the season, eyeing up a triple captaincy on Erling Haaland when City face Leeds at home in Game Week 13. I could use it when Haaland faces West Ham, but I do think he can haul nicely against Leeds in that game. And then looking at the free hit in Game Week 15, you have City up against Sunderland at home, Liverpool away to Leeds, and Newcastle at home to Burnley. I'm eyeing up that free hit. Remember, there's no double game weeks in the first half of the season, so we're going to have to use it in any week you prefer, and I'm eyeing up that Game Week 15. Triple up on City, triple up on Liverpool, triple up on Newcastle, and we should see some nice returns in that game week. So looking at my current lineup ahead of Game Week 12, I have 2 free transfers available, and starting off my defence, I'm very happy with how defence is shaping up this week. Starting off with my Arsenal double defence, after 4 clean sheets in a row, Sunderland finally got the better of them, but with the fact they're playing Spurs at home in this game, I am confident Arsenal can keep a clean sheet and make it 8 clean sheets in 12. Maybe don't captain Gabriel this week though if you are tempted. On to the rest of my defence then, looking at Munoz, he's got 2 clean sheets since I brought him into the team, and he's got Wolves and Burnley over the next 3 games, so there's definitely more points on the way. Senesi completes my back 3 for now. He's up against West Ham at home this week. 9 occasions this season, Senesi has came away with DEFCON, so if he doesn't get a clean sheet, there's a very much a high chance he can get some DEFCON. I have Mukiele on the bench away to Fulham, but with the fact Senesi is playing at home, that's the reason he's in the team this week. Moving on to my 5-man midfield, we're going to start off with the captaincy, and I have left the armband on Bukayo Saka. Maybe I'm still just on a high after captaining Saka last week for that haul against Sunderland, but it is looking very likely I will be going to that Arsenal and Spurs game with thanks to match attacks, so I'm looking forward to watching 3 FPL players live and direct. With the captaincy this week, Arsenal at home to Spurs, there is a good chance Arsenal can get a couple of goals in this game, and looking at Haaland away to Newcastle, it isn't the easiest of fixtures, so that's why I'm leaving the captaincy on Saka for now. Looking at the rest of the team then, moving on to Semenyo at home to West Ham. We spoke about him missing that penalty last week against Aston Villa. I wouldn't be surprised to see Evan Nielsen take up penalty duties once more, as he will be back into the team. But looking at Semenyo, he's up against West Ham and he has a decent run of fixtures after this game, so he won't be leaving my team anytime soon. Looking at Bruno Fernandes then, it's a similar story. Everton, West Ham and Wolves over the next 4 games for Man United, so I don't think he's going to leave the team anytime soon. I just do hope he can get at least 1 double-digit return over those next couple of games. He is taking along with the points, but I just want an extra few points for that price tag. And then on to Sarr, we spoke about him already. No returns in the last 2 since I brought him into the team, but Wolves and Burnley over the next 3 games for Crystal Palace. Surely he gets a couple of goals or a couple of returns over the next 3. That's something I'm going to have to keep a close eye on before he goes to the African Cup of Nations. And then finishing off with Ndiaye, he's got United, Newcastle and Bournemouth over the next 3 games, so not the easiest of fixtures for the Everton man. Don't forget, we will get 5 additional transfers right after the Game Week 15 deadline, so leading into Game Week 16, we will get an additional 5 transfers to sort our teams out with the African Cup of Nations. Himself and Sarah will definitely be leaving, so I'll have to sort out my team with those transfers, but they're staying here for now. But let's see what I'm thinking about Ndiaye with my transfer plans later on. John, Felipe, Mateta and Haaland complete my starting 11 for now, alongside Munoz and Sarr. Mateta has a lovely fixture away to Wolves in Game Week 12. Wolves sitting rock bottom of the Premier League just on 2 points, so this is a fixture Crystal Palace can definitely capitalise on. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of people give Mateta the armband this week for a slight differential on the captaincy. And then looking at Haaland away to Newcastle, it's not the easiest of fixtures for the City man, but in the form he's in at the moment, there's every chance he can come away with a nice return. Looking at the captaincy debate, I think it's between Mateta, Haaland, Saka and Salah. If you do have Salah in your team, I do think you have to give him the armband at home to Nottingham Forest. But I do own 3 players out of that player pool of 4 players with the captaincy debate, so let's see where I end up before the deadline. Liverpool have an absolutely beautiful run of fixtures from now until Game Week 20, and with no current Liverpool player in my team, I'm going to have to focus the use of my transfers to bring in some Liverpool assets to hop onto their favourable fixture run. For now, I can't get to Van Dijk or Gakpo in one move. I can do Ndiaye to Szoboszlai, but I'm not too fussed on making that transfer. Don't forget Szoboszlai is currently on 4 yellow cards, so 1 more yellow card for him will mean he'll have to serve a suspension, so that's what's putting me off bringing Szoboszlai into the team. Looking at Gakpo, he was benched for the Man City game, but I do think he comes straight back into that starting 11. I think that was just tactical in that game. And looking at Van Dijk, this fixture run for Liverpool, fair enough, they haven't been keeping clean sheets, but he's been picking up DEFCON on plenty of occasions so far this season, so I might even have to switch to a back 4 to adjust and try and bring Van Dijk into the team, and I do think he will pick up some clean sheets with that favourable fixture run. For now, I think I'm just going to have to sit back in Game Week 12, see how the Liverpool assets get on against Nottingham Forest, see if they've improved after the international break, and then assess my decisions and how I'll bring in some Liverpool assets for that fixture run. So that's how my team is currently shaping up ahead of Game Week 12. At the time of this recording, I am currently looking to roll my free transfer into Game Week 13, where then I'll have 3 free transfers, and then I'll be looking to stock up on Liverpool assets for their favourable fixture run. As we all know, there's plenty of games to be played during this international break, so I've probably jinxed myself now, but fingers crossed we can get through the international games injury free, and I'll be able to roll my transfer into Game Week 13. If you have made it to the end of this video, please give it a like, drop a comment below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We are on the road to 10k subs, so if you are watching and you haven't subscribed, head on down there, click subscribe on the channel and help me to hit that milestone. I'll see you all after the international break for Game Week 12 team selection. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.